So why fund early childhood education? Well, the most obvious answer is it costs less to do it than not to do it. Numerous studies show education and good parenting practice in the first 3 years of a child's life can make a dramatic difference in the lives of young children while also producing an educated workforce. That's why the Potts Family Foundation, with the help of others, started an early childhood coalition called 25 by 25.
25 by 25 is trying to build this coalition to move our state from being in the bottom 25 in terms of children's well-being, I should say the 25% that are in the bottom, to among the top 25 states by 2025.
Well, according to Pat Potts, by investing early on in life, we reduce the need for less effective and more costly corrective interventions later on. That can range anywhere from remedial education to even the criminal justice system. Well, Ready Nation is a nonpartisan national network of 1,400 business leaders advocating for a skilled workforce and stronger economy through investments in children and youth. And I visited with their deputy director, Nancy Fishman, before she spoke to the 25 by 25 coalition. Well, Nancy, every time we talk about the workforce, it seems like we're also talking about the skills gap. How early does that issue start?
Believe it or not, the skills gap starts even before kindergarten. We notice a difference in children as young as 18 months of age with the number of words that they know. Those children in households whose families are lower on the socioeconomic scale actually know fewer words than children in families of middle and upper class professional parents, and that gap only grows. And it's that gap in words and knowledge that leads to later difficulty in reading, which creates the skills gap that we see in our workforce today.
So it's not only predictive to success in school, but predictive in success later in life in the workforce.
Exactly. We know that these early skills, children entering kindergarten ready to learn, are ready to succeed. Those that can read on grade level by third grade are more likely to be able to graduate from high school on time and with the skills that are needed by the workforce. Those children that are falling behind early have a very difficult time catching up. And we're trying to meet those needs by ensuring that children, all children, have access to high quality early learning opportunities.
Yeah, and it seems as if that this is something that has been long realized in education circles, but increasingly it's being realized in business circles as well.
Absolutely. Matter of fact, we have 1,500 business leader members across the country who are interested in supporting these efforts because they see it as a workforce development issue. They understand that children need to get a good start in life in order to be able to successfully join the workforce later. They also see it as a workforce issue today. Many of their employees are parents and grandparents of young children, and they know that their employees are more productive when their children are somewhere where they are safe and happy and able to learn. Perhaps that's at home with a parent. Perhaps that's in a high-quality early learning center.
Mm-hmm. And I want to explore that just a bit more, but let's talk from the parent's perspective. What does that do for a parent to know that they have affordable daycare?
It gives them an opportunity when they're at work to focus on work. Parents love their children and want their children to do well. If their children are somewhere that are safe, when they're at the office, they're able to focus on the job that they're doing and not wonder if their child is safe and happy. It really gives them an opportunity to be fully present when they're on the job. It also gives them an opportunity to take fewer sick days. When their children have reliable, stable childcare, the parent is able to get to work on a more regular basis.
Mm-hmm. Talk to me on how important it is in the development of the juvenile brain that they're exposed to many of the things that they're going to need later on in life.
Well, we know that about 90% of a child's brain is developed by the age 5. And it's not difficult to help a child's brain develop well. Children learn from interactions with adults from early on. With babies, they call it serve and return. I say something to a baby, the baby makes a funny cooing sound, and I smile, just like you're doing. I smile back at the baby. It's serve and return. It's taking a child with you to the grocery store and saying, look, these are apples. Some apples are red, and some apples are green. It doesn't have to be complicated. It just needs to be interactive with the child. And of course we know that reading to a child is one of the best things that we can do to help a child really fully develop a love of learning and a love of books.
Yeah, and it sounds like so much of this certainly can be found in daycares and in schools, but also needs to be found in the home.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things that we do. We work with our business leaders on parent engagement. Business people can provide lots of good information to their employees, good resources for them to be able to better engage with their children, to know what typical early childhood development is. Parents, especially first-time parents, don't know whether their child or children are developing appropriately for their age. But with information, they know when to make that call to the pediatrician. Maybe information on how to better afford health care, information on where to send your child to a high-quality early learning experiences. Parents are a child's first teacher, and we do everything we can to help support that relationship.
Yeah, and bottom line, if we're going to make these improvements, it's going to take not only business and education, but also parents.
Absolutely. We all need to work together to help these young people succeed.
All right, Nancy, thank you so much.
Thank you.